minds that is worth hearing. If you have any questions, like I said, have your pencil and paper and be free to ask. We're going to give a time for questions at the end. And so I am welcoming all to our innovative Zoom tax fundraiser Zoom call. We are here to bring information because we are in an environment that we know that has just changed all of our lives. And this is the time of year I know I will be doing my Zoom, Kwanzaa and bringing information, able to reach out and touch folks. So we just have to learn how to do things different. And my saying is, when life serves lemon, what do? We make lemonade. So this is my lemonade moment, bringing information to you, and hopefully you'll be fulfilled and encouraged to join the calls that we're doing, and not only for us, but for you and those that you are in touch with, those that you are seeking to help, because all of us are going through some challenges. And there are many families, you may have a cause or a fundraiser that you want to help. This is the time to gather information and utilize it and be a help to someone else. Even if you got it going on, somebody, a brother, a sister, or uncle, somebody can benefit from what we're going to give you. So, with that being said, I want to open it up with Brother Ron. Ron's going to give some information and we're going to show a little presentation. I call myself the commercial break, and I will be the transition from Ron to Miss Cynthia Sly that will give you more details about how this fundraiser is going to work for you. So, with that being said, Ron, I'm turning it over to you. But at this time, I ask that if your mic is not mute, that you just mute your mic. And if you need to say something, just unmute your mic so we can have a clear call and everyone can hear the information without interruption from this point on. Ron, I'm giving it back to you.
Good evening, everyone. How's everyone doing tonight? One quick thing, you can go into the chat room if you need to drop a question and type it instead of unmuting. Either, I'll be briefing what I have to say, and then we can have the Q&A. So let me just share my screen, and we can get started. Okay, so what I'm going to talk about tonight is how to set up a business, different forms of business, and how this can be relative to what we're doing at Innovative. Innovative is actually the sponsor of this presentation. The first thing, we all have some type of employment. You look at what's called a cash flow quadrant. There are 4 types of ways that you can generate income. Most of us, or some of us, are probably currently employees. We go to work every day, we work 8 hours, we receive a paycheck, we receive what's called wages. So with those wages, we pay our taxes, and then we walk home, we have whatever's left, we're able to work with. Then we may move to another quadrant where we're self-employed. We may work for a company in sales or some other capacity, and they pay us as what's called a 1099 or as an independent contractor. So we're able to get our income, and then we're able to bring it home. We're able to bring most of our income home, and that gives us the ability to maximize what we make per year. Then we become what's called a business owner. As a business owner, we're able to take some advantage of some of the tax breaks that are available to someone that owns a business. We get paid, and then the way a business works is that you get paid, you pay your expenses, and then what's left is either your net profit or your net loss. Then you report that to Uncle Sam as your whatever your tax bill is. Then you move to the next level and you're becoming an investor, where you've invested in the company and you're going to receive residual income, or you're going to receive some type of return on your investment. And also your investment develops some type of equity that at some point you can either sell your business or will it to someone. So it has some, what we call economic value. Then there's basically 4 or 5 different types of businesses. Plus you have what's called a not-for-profit. You have a sole proprietor, you have a limited liability company, an S Corp, a C Corp, and then I'll explain what each one of those are in addition to a not-for-profit. With the sole proprietorship, it's a simple and most common form of business. It's typically you're unincorporated, and it's typically owned by one person. So let's say if you had a painting company, you may be a sole proprietor and you're the only one that operates that company. You pay taxes, you haven't incorporated, but you can get a tax ID number and, report your income appropriately to the IRS. And there's no distinction between the owner and the business. So if someone were to sue you as a sole proprietorship, they can actually take your personal assets as well. So you're liable as a business and as a person if you're a sole proprietor. Then we move on to what's called a legal liability company. You probably heard of an LLC. The owners are not personally responsible for this company. Your debts and your liabilities are separated from your personal ledger, so that if that's, for example, you did some type of business and let's say you were a mechanic and you screwed up somebody's car, they can't sue you for your personal income or assets, but they can sue the business. So that allows you to separate the two. It's a hybrid entity. It's one of the newer forms of business. In a lot of states, you can be what's called a sole member LLC, which works the same as a sole proprietor, or you can actually have a partnership, or you can have other members of that corporation. And it works, has all the characteristics of a corporation, and it just is another form of business. The difference between the liability LLC and the sole proprietorship is that legal umbrella that you create. Then you have S corporation. The S stands for small business corporation, and it's what's called a pass-through tax situation, meaning that the business earns either a profit or a loss, then it's passed on to the people that own the corporation or the owner. And then the deductions and the income and credit are all passed to the owner. And then you file a form, what's called a K-1. You receive that from your corporation, but it's not taxed at the corporate level. It's taxed at each member's or partner's individual tax return. Then you have a C corporation, which is actually a pure form of a corporation. And this corporation actually takes on the likelihood of being like an individual. So the corporation itself can sue as a corporation. They can loan and borrow money as a corporation. They can hire employees. They pay taxes as a corporation. And the corporation itself can own assets. So it's always, the legal entity is separate and distinct from its owner. So it operates as its own entity. Then I had mentioned the difference between a sole proprietorship and an LLC. With the sole proprietorship, you're the single member. Also, as a single member LLC, you're that same person. The income and expenses are filed on a Schedule C if you're a sole proprietor or an LLC. And the sole proprietor is the simplest form of doing business. It's just you and you're going out and you're operating your business. And then the single member LLC actually provides you that, like I mentioned, that legal umbrella, as well as it helps you with, tax matters. So everything is separated as an LLC. Then we move to another level, which is a not-for-profit. Some of you may have heard a 5013C. That's the IRS code that gives you the ability to be a tax exempt organization. And in order to set up a not-for-profit, you have to generate or have some social good in mind. For example, you may have an organization that gives charitable donations to someone that's out of work. This organization does not own a profit. The monies in that organization have to be used, as I mentioned, for the social good. And you have to donate the funds for some particular goal or an objective. You have to file articles of incorporation in your state to become a nonprofit. Then you have to file an additional form with the IRS, a form 1023, that gives you that tax exempt status. Then once you get that back from the IRS, then you have to file to your state as tax exempt. And with the not-for-profit, you can actually pay yourself a salary to whoever the program director is and expenses. But the bottom line, you have to have and use that money for the social good. it's got to benefit society in some particular manner. Then some of the common expenses, the reason you want to set up a business, as I mentioned, you generate income, then you minus your expenses, and then whatever is left, you're going to report on your tax return. So some of the common things you can deduct is advertising, business miles. Currently for this year, for every mile that you travel, it's worth 57.5 cents. So that's a pretty decent deduction. Home office deduction. You can do actual expenses. What you do, you take the total area of your residence and you can deduct up to 300 square feet. And as a percentage, you can actually deduct your light bill, your phone bill, any bills that you pay for your house, your mortgage, and you deduct that from your business as a business deduction. And also you can actually hire someone else to work for you. If you can pay them up to the standard deduction where they wouldn't have to pay taxes. Now, if you do hire someone, if you pay them over $600, you do have to give them a 1099. You can deduct your travel expenses. You can deduct food, supplies, and your office expense. Now, those are some of the most common expenses. If you have a cell phone, for my LLC and my company, it's actually in my company's name. So any expense that I incur with my cell phone, which I use for my business, it's all deductible to me. And it all depends on how you have things set up and things arranged. Then your net income, it's actually, if you're a sole proprietor or a single person LLC, you just report it on a Schedule C, and then it carries over to your regular income. What you report is your income minus expenses. So that means you can either have a profit or a loss. If you create a loss in your business, which sometimes in your first year that may happen, you can actually be able to pull down your taxable income, or what's called your adjusted gross income. Then all this is added to your Form 1040, which is what you would normally file. Now, if you decide or you have a not-for-profit, every year you have to file what's called a Form 990. There's an easy version, and it all depends on how much money your not-for-profit's generating. And then at some point, if you generate a lot of money with your not-for-profit, you got to actually list the donors. And the Form 990 is similar to the Schedule C, where you're recording what your revenue is minus any expenses. And this all goes to the IRS. And because you're a not-for-profit, you don't have to report the taxes because it is not-for-profit. But as long as you're in compliance, and you can imagine that if you're not paying taxes to Uncle Sam, this is probably under a whole lot of scrutiny to make sure that you are operating as a not-for-profit. Then this is just a common form that you use when you file taxes. It's called the Schedule C. As you can see, the top part shows your income minus your expenses, and then you have a bottom line. It's either positive or it's negative. Then that form is carried over to your 1040 form. So it can impact your tax liability either in the plus, or it can actually, if you're creating a loss, it's going to reduce your taxable income, therefore decreasing your tax liability, Uncle Sam. And then if you decide to do a not-for-profit, or if you have a not-for-profit, it's either 501(c), which is the IRS code. And as I mentioned, you list your contributions and anything that you generate as revenue, any programs that you run, you list the grants that come in, then you list any expenses that you were to incur. And it's always based on the bottom line. So with a not-for-profit, you always want to have your bottom lines equal. You want the expenses to equal the income, because you got to spend that money and give it away to some charitable organization. Then the next step, I'm just going to show you a quick video on innovative in the patch technology. So let me just switch screens and I'll show that in a quick second.
Everything you know about nutrition is about to change. Introducing innovative
We can't hear it, guys.
Yeah, it's tough to hear. Let me say.
Is it possible to start it over, Ron? Because we didn't hear most of it.
Okay, will do.
And the mic, your headsets are off, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
I turned it up as loud as I could.
okay. For the sake of this video, just so you know, we are having some kind of technical difficulties, but I hope sometimes pictures are worth 1,000 words. So we have this video that can be sent to each and every one of you by the person that brought you to this Zoom line. We'll be happy to send it to you personally so you can review it. But as you can see, we're showing, you know, this is what's out there, but this is not what we have. We have a high technical nano patch that is changing the way how we patch up our lives. This commercial will be showing you how the technology is working, how it goes into the large skin, how it's being utilized, and making life changes to those that have been using this patch. We are so glad that we do have this video that can be sent to you instantly. Just put a message in the chat saying, send me the video so we know who you are and we can get this video to you. We have something going on with the sound, so we will move forward, Ron, if we can, and let's move forward with the next step because we cannot hear unless it changed. Okay. So I'm sorry about that. We really wanted you guys to hear what we were going to share about the PAC technology. We wanted to make sure you understood that this is a high technical way, and the easiest thing to say is just patch it up. I'm gonna just keep it real. I'm not a scientist. We have patches that are literally small. I got several patches on. And with these several patches, what I wanted to make sure that we knew is that with fundraisers, I've been looking and we have several different measures and ways that we are accustomed to doing. And I was just, you know, if I was out there looking to do a fundraiser, just did a research, what's out there? They have fundraisers on t-shirts, candy sales, Christmas cards. We have a whole host of ways that we can do fundraisers, but we're bringing something that is very uh, unique, and it's a healthy choice and a necessity way to bring information not only to the family, but bring our health and wellness to our communities. People are sick out there, and we just want to offer a way of, you know, promoting these patches. This is a way where we can do fundraisers. We have the items that you can use. Of course, we're going to tell you how this fundraiser works, but we wanted to give you some information about what we're talking about to take in consideration for using for your fundraisers. Today, you know, I did a lot of a search in where they have the children. There was one I saw where a young lady blind. She can't go to school because everybody's on lockdown, and she's don't have a laptop for her. And some communities just can't afford it. Some households don't have the capabilities of getting their children what they want. And I thought that would be that's one example of how a fundraiser can be helped, that you can just adopt a family, adopt a child, raise income for her to get a special laptop for her impairment with her eyes. She just happened to be a victim once again in this corona environment. So, I mean, and so what better way I would say, we have children's patches that are patching up our children, that are securing our babies. I have 6 grandbabies, and the last thing I want to hear about is that they're getting sick and I had something right in my hand that can help. The last thing we want to hear about is some kids or people that are dealing with common ailments that can be remedied through our diet and our supplements. So what better way to give our family, our communities, or something that we can use? I'd rather be slapping a patch than shoving a candy bar, chocolate candy bar for fundraiser. They're affordable. They're something that every family, grandparents, aunts, uncle, we all have somebody that we know can benefit from this. So this is one item that I thought when I think about fundraisers and how it can help others that are out there struggling. We also know that during this time, I don't know about you, we're in California, we're about to go on lockdown again. And as always, we don't claim to help heal or make you, suddenly remarkably cure. What we do offer is aid to help you. We give you something to shield. I call it my confident patch. I'm going to be traveling, not willingly, but it's a necessity. And it's good to know that not only can I just, patch up my immune system and build up my system and prepare myself for this journey, what I may be exposed, and making sure that I have what I need. I don't have to worry about taking a pill, drinking some water, or do I have this shake? I got to take. No, I can slap this patch on and be confident in my travels. And not only that, it's just so handy. Put it in my purse. I don't have to worry about going to customs with liquids and, pills of that such. It's a simple way to travel. And many of us are going to need this support, especially with this flu and cold season. We need to build our immune system up and get it to where we can be operating in the way our bodies was designed. And just face it, we just don't get the nutritions that we do on our diet. So we need these supplements. And what better way to bring healing and patching up our communities, because there's so much of division, there's so much in health issues. I just got another text, a friend, she couldn't get on, they had another death because of this corona environment. So, it's like the second one this week. So here we go, another wave. Let's get ourselves, our family, let's start with us and then go to our communities. We have something, some can't afford it. This is why this fundraiser will help. Give people still stocking stuffers with candy. How about some patches? Okay. We have something for that. And then, of course, I am too. I don't care how much the challenge, I have fluff. I'm just gonna throw this Ignite in. I got extra fluff and I need to unstuff. Yeah, we about to have stuffing and all that. So, just like we patch it up and get ready for this environment, we got to patch it up and get ready for our own created environment in our home. We're our worst corona environment. We got to make healthier choices. So it's tough. It's tough. You can't just run out and get things like you want. We're about to really shut down. So I need some help because I like to cook. And so I need help to, keep myself in the healthy mode. And this patch, I'm telling you, I need to keep myself balanced. But these are just some of the patches that I have. I'm telling you, we have so many. We have so many patches. We have, things that we can really offer instead of, making candy or cupcakes and Girl Scout cookies. Those are all fundraisers. I'm saying let's raise the bar. Let's bring something to our community that they can benefit from. And you can also get the money to help whatever your cause is. So I just want to encourage you to really think about it. talk to the person that invite you to this line. It's not just about charitable, it's about a business. Maybe you're launching a business. This is a way to get it out. Let people know that we have a healthy way to get them and their family, in their community, on one accord, because we're so divided. But this is one thing we can all agree on. We need to make healthier choices, and we need something to help us, because we're just not going to get it in the way things are set up right now. So with that being said, I just went over briefly about our patch. The next time we're going to have another Zoom. So Thursday, we're going to work on that technology so you can kind of hear about what the patch is about. But we will move towards Cynthia. Cynthia Sly is going to tell us about how these fundraisers can be and will be functioning. She's the expertise. I'm staying in my lane. Like I said, I'm the commercial. And so Ron did your taxes. If you're thinking about taxes, that's me. Oh, what about the taxes? What about I'm that person. So just to ease your mind, we thought about you, okay? And so now we're going to think about you and move to you, how this fundraiser is going to help develop your cause, or what your charitable contribution is that you're seeking to bring to your community. With that being said, Cynthia, take it over.
Well, awesome, awesome, awesome. What a great job, Pam, hosting, and Ron, your expertise on, taxes. And you guys, I remember 25 plus years ago, I try not to date myself, but I tell you, it was the tax breaks that got me, looking at entrepreneurship. I did all the right things that society tells you to do. I went to school, got my degree, and I landed a high paying job at a pretty good, accounting firm. And, I got my first paycheck and I was blown away. I was like, what happened to the other half of it? Nobody ever tells you in school when you're studying and staying up all night and everything, that when you do land that job, that, half of it is going to go to taxes. And so I was just like, wow, this is going to be crazy over the next 40 years. And it was at that job, you guys, that a coworker of mine told me about the tax benefits of a home-based business. And immediately, suddenly, I was able to take back my tax dollar. I was able to give myself a pay raise. I went to my human resources department, and because I had a business, you guys, I was able to add 3 extra allowances on my W-4. And we always tell you to talk to your tax professional, but what that did, you guys, that was like me having triplets overnight. I had 3 dependents, right? That's like me buying a house. I mean, it made such a huge difference in my take-home pay. It went up $300, $400, $500 every time I got paid. And I thought that was the coolest thing. And so what we're talking about tonight, you guys, you can have your very own home-based business for $49.95. That would qualify you for what Ron was talking about earlier. And so you guys, I thought that was just a magic trick, the best thing in the world. And I went around town telling people just like me about the tax advantages of a home-based business, how they could take home more take-home pay, how they could give themselves an immediate pay raise. And you guys, I did so much talking around town about that, I was able to surpass my income I was making on my full-time job. And in a year and a half, I fired my boss. And you guys, I've been an entrepreneur ever since. I'm a traditional business owner. I own a thriving salon in the DC metro area. No, I'm not a hairstylist. I'm a businesswoman, and so I have never worked for anybody but myself over the past 25 plus years. And Ron pointed out that cash flow quadrant, you guys. Most people start off on the left side of that quadrant. but you will never attain wealth on that left side of that quadrant. Even as a self-employed, meaning even if you have a business, most people are still trading time for money, but not until you make it to that right side of the cash flow quadrant. Business owner that owns a system that they use, or an investor where their money is working for them. Until you make it over to that side of the quadrant, you're always going to be trading time for money. But, when you own a system or have your money working for you, that's when you have won. That's when you have created what they call residual income, and you're leveraging a system, or you're leveraging your money, or you're leveraging other people's efforts. And so that's the name of the game, because on that right side, they own 95% of the wealth. They own 95% of the wealth. And so that's what we're talking about tonight, you guys. How you can take this innovative 1x1 inch patch, you guys. I mean, there's just so much juicy meat in this Zoom tonight, from the tax advantages of a home-based business. And then, you guys, if you're listening on this Zoom tonight, you are witnessing a shift in the way people do nutrition. That is huge, huge. I mean, no pills to swallow, no liquids to drink. I mean, you peel, stick, and go. Peel, stick, and go, you guys. And people are patching up their health with this patch technology. And right now, I don't think there is any one thing that is more of a priority with people right now than their health. So you got the tax advantages of a home-based business. Then you have, innovative, nutrition, where people must protect themselves. We have an immune boost patch. Are you kidding me? I mean, do you think that the owners of Zoom and the creators of Zoom are not just high-fiving each other and saying, oh my gosh, our ship has come in? I mean, their stocks have shot up, you guys, because of the cutting edge technology. And that's how we feel with these 1x1 inch patches. We call them wearable nutrition. So make sure that you look at that video. And so we know that right now people are looking to raise funds, whether you're an individual, whether you are a small business. My salon, our hours have been cut. We're only open half the time now. Or whether you are a, church, oh my goodness, they're suffering, not getting as many, funds in, and schools and so forth. And so, you guys, people are taking these 1x1 inch patches and they're having fundraisers. And you have two options. You can either partner with the person who has invited you to this Zoom, and y'all can do the fundraiser together. Because our company, Innovative Nutrition, they're giving away every single month 5 bonuses: a $10,000 bonus, a $8,000 bonus, $6,000, $4,000, and $2,000. And you guys, the 5 teams that raise the most funds win one of those bonuses. And so again, if you think that you have a smaller reach, you don't have a big objective, a big mission, you may want to partner with the person who invited you to the Zoom, because they may have 3, 4, 5 fundraisers going on, and you all can come together and then split the money. Or maybe you're a big school or a big church and you feel like you have enough, circle of influence where you can do the fundraiser by yourself and maybe win one of those 5 bonuses. But no matter what the case may be, you still can earn income. And so we have millennials that are getting involved with this, you guys, because millennials, they love technology. We have an app, you guys. All we do is text them out that 3-minute video. They look at the video and they order, and cha-ching, ching. you get paid. And so there's so many ways to do this. You can do it being in business for yourself, but not by yourself, or you can partner up and be what we call an angel. You may feel like, I need some extra money. I definitely would like to protect myself with the patches, but I'm just not ready to, do it all on my own. Can I partner with you and be what we call an angel? And so, you guys, there's a place for you to play in this. And we just appreciate, you coming on this Zoom on a Sunday night to hear, how this all works. But for $49.95, you can start taking those tax breaks, you guys. You can give yourself a pay raise. You can take back your tax dollar. Or you may say, hey, I just want some free patches. How can I get some free patches? I want to protect my health. Well, guess what? You can be an angel, or you can, say, hey, I want to earn some cash. I don't mind partnering with you guys, and so get back with the person who invited you to this Zoom. And we have several ways that you can get involved in this mission, you guys. Like I said, this was a juicy, juicy Zoom. Thank you so much, Pam. Thank you, Ron, because I'm telling you, the more we educate people, I'm telling you, that information that I got over 25 years ago, it changed the course of my life. I tell you what, I fired my boss and have never looked back ever since. And I know these millennials these days, because we got a lot of millennials on here, I know they don't want to work for nobody. They are, footloose and fancy free. And so I know that, this is right up their alley. So get back with the person who invited you to the call. So back to you, Pam.
I'm sorry, I just realized I didn't have my mic off. Like I said, the challenge on the end. Anyhow, moving forward. I hope you all have enjoyed the information you gleaned from it. We do want to give you time to ask questions. If you have any questions, you might want to know a little bit more about something. This is the time to unmute your mic and ask your questions and let us help you out. Who has a question? Anyone? Well, apparently we were very thorough and you got what you need. And again, I just echo what Cynthia said, get back to the person that invited you to this Zoom. And I will be more than happy to send you the link to that video so you can hear about the technology for yourself, so you can share and be confident in patching up your life, because it's a win-win situation. I implore you to really consider this as a fundraiser for whatever your cause is, because everyone wins. Everyone wins with this cause. Everyone wins with this product, and we just got to do things safe. And this is a safe environment, just like we're doing here. We have this Zoom. We invite you, have your church member. Maybe we can have a church revival on Zoom. I don't know. A concert, whatever your cause is, you can set it up. I have so many crazy ideas. Just give me a call, and like we said, we work with you and we will help you host your Zoom or your fundraiser for your cause. But reach out and touch and ask that person that invited you, how can you help me be successful? How can we raise money, like you're saying? So thank you so much for joining us at this late hour. We thank you, East Coast. Thank you, Cynthia, for presenting. As always, you bring it home for us. Ron, I appreciate you. You always got my back, even when I'm falling back. You push me forward. I appreciate you. And
Pam, one thing.
Yes, sir.
The actual presentation is in the chat. So if someone goes into the chat, they can, someone posted it in the chat. So if you go into the chat, you can actually save that link.
Oh, okay. Daggone it. Now I gotta learn how to save that. Just go to
if you open it up on your computer, it'll be there even when you close out on Zoom.
Okay, I just want to make sure I don't have to do it right now. Okay. Like I said, I'm new. This is like life is changing, and Nubian, please do it. Save it if I missed it, just as a backup. But I am so happy that you all came on. Next Thursday, We're going to host another Zoom. It's going to be at 7 p.m. Pacific time. That's West Coast time. 10 p.m. East Coast time. We're going to bring it home. We're going to give this information. I've had some that wanted to know, and they just couldn't come on a Sunday. So we're putting it at a later time for our West Coast people, because we had one at 5 p.m. So we're going to just push it back a little, and hopefully you can go share this with your group. They can, invite them to hear, send them to us, and let us take care of them if you can't be here. So spread the word, share because you care. So we thank you for being on this line, and hopefully it has helped you. And we look forward to seeing you on Thursday. So good night, everyone. Thank you for coming. Bye-bye. All right. Good night.
Good night.
Good
Night.
night.
Good night, everyone.
Good job. Good job, you guys.
And it will be recorded if anyone needs it. So let us know. All right. Take care. Night, night.
Good night, all.
Good night.